This is, we are at Rodman's in West Bend learning about maple syrup. If you like what we're seeing, subscribe and follow me.
Look.
Kind of give you a brief look at what we have on how he's boiling it down.
He has two different eyes?
What? No, he has no. One's darker, one's lighter.
Yeah, they're different colors.
See.
Alright, there we go. Okay, so you guys want to actually learn how the maple syrup thing works, or you just feel like you have to? What? Alright, raise your hand if you want to learn some stuff.
We want to learn, right?
Okay, raise your hand if you're only sitting here because you have to be, and you don't really want to learn. You also have to be. Alright, good. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys about making maple syrup. And it's not something you can do in all parts of the world, in all parts of the country. So, the reason, let's see, where should I start? Okay, so the syrup comes from sap in the tree. Did any of you guys ever see sap dripping out of a tree?
Yeah.
So in the maple tree, it looks just like this right here. This is just like water. Later on, if you guys grab a cup, you can taste it. No, let's careful. Don't stick your hands in here like I did. This one's kind of warm. This one will boil you and you'll have to go to the hospital. So, I should have thought that through first. So it looks just like water, but it tastes like water with a little tiny bit of sugar mixed in with it. And so what we do is we drill some holes in the trees and we put a little faucet in it so that it can drip into a bucket. But, so the reason you can do it here and not in other parts of the country is because up here it's cold in the winter. So when the trees sometimes do with your gum at night, you set it next to your bed, you want to save it for tomorrow, or you hide chips under your bed for a rainy day or whatever. So it's like that. The tree knows that winter's coming and it's just going to be sleeping through the winter, so it sends all its food down to its roots. And then it stays there so that in the spring, see this tree right now, this one's a maple tree right here. All these ones without leaves, sorry, this is a locust. But can it make energy now without leaves on there? No, it can't. So, good answer. And, because it does have to need someone to get its energy, so just like you guys with all the chips stored under your bed, it's got its sugar water stored in its roots. So right now, the sugar water is coming up from the roots and into the tree. So when we drill the hole in the tree, we're actually catching the sap as it's moving up. It isn't coming down, it's moving up from the roots, and that's where we're getting it. If we were somewhere that it was really warm all year round, the sap would just kind of stay in here and wouldn't move around shortly. I'm just going through the sciencey stuff. So, what you need for the sap to come out of the hole is you need nights to get below freezing. What temperature does it freeze at?
This is the same.
You guys can shout it out if you want.
Water, right?
32. So you need nights to get below 32, and then days that are in the high 30s or warmer. And you can't have cold days and cold nights, or warm days and warm nights. You need cold nights and warm days. So does anyone know what happens to wood when it gets cold? Any non-Rodman know? Jason, what happens to wood when it gets cold?
Shrinks.
It shrinks. So at night, the wood gets cold and it shrinks. So picture, have any of you guys ever seen a turkey baster? Or like a medicine dropper? You squeeze it. And what happens when you squeeze it? It comes out. So picture the tree being like the medicine dropper and the roots being the bottom where it comes out. At night, the wood shrinks just a little, so it's like the medicine dropper squeezing, and that pushes the sap down into the roots. But then, what happens to the wood when it gets warm, when the sun's on it? It expands. So that's like the squishy part on the medicine dropper opening up. So what happens when you let go of the medicine dropper? It sucks. Have any of you guys ever sucked stuff back up with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. So when the tree expands because it's warm, it's sucking up the sap and it's back up here. There's some other things like capillary action and turgor pressure that get into this, but we'll save that for like an 8th grade plus lesson. So that's how the sap. Does that answer the question enough for you? Yeah. Okay. So I've got. I'll show you guys this over here. I made this last night. If you guys want to come over and see it. Okay. This is the different parts of a tree. So this line.
Hey, Tiger.
All the sap goes up in this part right here. That's okay. Go on. So each ring in here is 1 year old of the tree. So I counted them. Each dot is 1 year old. So when this tree was only 10 years old, it was only this wide. Then when it was 20 years old, it was this wide. And then when we cut it down, because Johnny's model rocket got stuck in the top of it, it was 24 years old. So when we drill the hole, I drill. Ugo, you want to see this part? So this is a cross section. We drill a hole. From here to here is the xylem, or the sapwood. That's where the sap can go up. So I drill a hole like this. These are called spiles. Okay. They have a hole in the bottom. Sure. So we slide it in here, and so as all the sap goes into the drill hole, it'll go there, into that hole in this, and out here. Now a long time ago, like even the Indians used to make
Maple syrup.
we used to make maple syrup, and
That one's stuck in
yeah,
there.
that one's in there pretty good. So what they would do, they didn't have these metal ones.
I'm sorry.
They took a stick and they'd
put it in
cut a hole or drill a hole through the middle and put it into the hole.
Yep, they didn't have metal
And
spiles.
well, I used to read about in the Southwest there were some Indian tribes that they would make tobacco pipes, and they had to get the hole going all the way through the thing. They would put termites in it and close off the end, so the termites would eat its way through, and that's how they would get a hole. But for this one, they're like ants. But so now the sap will drip through those holes, and we catch it in a bucket. And then when we catch it in a bucket, what we've been doing is dumping our buckets into that big square bucket over there. And then come here, I'll take you guys over to the cooker. When we're done, do you guys want to go around and cut some trees with us? Okay, so what we've been doing is we fill up that bucket over there, and then I have a hose, so whenever this runs out, we drain that sap into here, so this part doesn't get as hot as this. So this, that's okay. So this part's just warming up, but then it comes down into here, and this is hot. We've got it here, there's a whole bunch of fire, we're filling it with firewood. So you guys are going to help. When we're done, we're going to go get some firewood to put in there, and then we'll go get some sap to put in there. Johnny, come down, please. And so what happens, this thing, this morning before church, was all the way full. So since the beginning of church, it's boiled down. Have you guys ever seen like when you make spaghetti at home, or mom makes soup? It starts with this much water and all the steam comes off and it goes down to that. Well, that's what's happening. There's a little bit of sugar in here, but when this turns into steam, the water turns into steam and flows away, but all the sugar stays inside of here. So all the sugar from all that water is going to stay here, and then most of the water is going to go away. And so that's going to make it more sugary. So if you guys want, later we could open this up. Don't open it now, there'll be boiling sap that comes out of here. But we could put it in a cup, like hot chocolate, and you can let it cool off and you can drink it. It tastes like tap water, sugary water. Yeah. So then, right now I've got it just dripping a little bit. So I could open it up and put a whole lot more warm water in there. Or I could just turn it off, but I really can't see anything now. So I don't want to. So that's so yeah, so when this is, oh, I should tell you, so it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. So like
My eyes are foggy.
okay, did you guys see that little, or here, you see Jocelyn's bottle here? In order to make that much syrup, we probably need this much sap. So we'll boil all the steam out of this much sap until all that's left is that, to make one little bottle of syrup, and it's sweet. So it's a lot of work. To make 1 gallon of syrup probably is about 8 hours of work. By the time we get all the buckets.
Two full things of that, because it takes 4 hours.
Yes. Yes. Well, I don't mean 8 hours of watching. I mean like 8 hours actually of working. Like collecting buckets, dumping them out, drilling the holes in the trees, cutting up firewood. We have to split a lot of firewood
Can
for
we do
this.
that?
So, okay. So let's see. I think first should we get some sap or some firewood?
Firewood.
Dripping right now?
Firewood is fun as sap.
Okay. Well, we can go collect it and we just start drinking out of it. Okay, so let's see. Should we start out in the woods with the far ones or the far ones?
Hey, Jason here, your local roofer. I'm over at my friend's house, the Rodmans, down the road, and they were showing us on how they make maple syrup. Again, if you like this, follow me, subscribe, and we'll get you some other neat adventures. Call me.